Meanwhile, two-time star Julian Assange also spoke on the Indian government's reaction to the WikiLeaks disclosure, saying the cable's authenticity was only questioned by the United States as well as India because India followed what Hillary wanted them to.
When we started releasing these cables about India, we showed two things. One is what was actually in the material. So the various scandals that have come out, the relationship with the United States, the bribing in Parliament and so on. The other thing that we revealed was what the government reaction to all that was, what Prime Minister Singh's reaction to all that was, and other people. So we can see two types of information coming forth, and both of these are quite important to understand how these organisations are actually behaving. So I agree with you, the response by the government left a lot to be desired. I said before that it was clear to me that Prime Minister Singh was deliberately attempting to mislead the Indian people on what type of material this was. People tell me that he is not personally corrupt. I do not know myself. I have no information on that as to whether he is or is not. But his reaction left a lot to be desired. It wasn't to fully, frankly investigate what was going on and then provide findings to the Parliament. Rather, it was an attempt to spin the issue. And I suspect that that has come from experience in dealing with similar scandals in the past. That is a way you can deal with them. You try and spin them, then you localise an investigation and a response. If we are to have a strong response from the government, it will require a strong response from media. I mean, they just have to be pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until they see that there is an advantage in performing a proper response. And that's what will drive these people. I mean, I understand from running an institution which is constantly under attack from state actors and from critics, that you do try and put out the biggest fire first. Mm-hmm. So the absence of the Indian government to comprehensively respond does not necessarily mean that they will not, or they have all sorts of vested interests in trying to shirk the issue. Part of, I think, what has gone on in India is that Hillary Clinton, back in December, went around to many countries, including India, and said, look, certain things may be coming out. Here's how I want you to respond to them. And what Hillary was doing, and what the State Department has been doing, is saying, we refuse to confirm or deny them, we won't talk about leaked things ever.
Yep.
And I suspect that the Indian government, rather foolishly, when the cables came out, decided that they would try and ape her and play her line, which has been very unsuccessful in the United States as a way of responding to the material. And other countries, to their credit, have not decided to go down the line recommended by Hillary in refusing to talk about anything that was in a cable, but rather have, fully engage with what the allegations were. And that's what the Indian government needs to do, fully engage what the allegations are. These cables have not been questioned at all. There's ongoing prosecutions, in fact, into us, into an alleged source, Bradley Manning, FBI investigations, a CIA task force, etc. The best journalists in the world have worked on this material and published thousands of articles on it. So there's no doubt that what's in the cables is correct to the degree that that is what American diplomats wrote, and that is what they sent back to Washington.
And straight to Srinjoy Chaudhary with the government sources revealing that Hillary Clinton indeed did call External Affairs Minister S.M. Krishna. This is what Julian Assange also told Times Now. Srinjoy.
Yes, absolutely. First of all, the reactions of the American government and the Indian government are strangely very, very similar. But that said, what we heard from our sources is that as far as communication between India and the United States is concerned, there has been just one call from Hillary Clinton, US Secretary of State, to S.M. Krishna, the External Affairs Minister. And that was before all this stuff came out. It was to tell S.M. Krishna, inform him that, look, this is the stuff that is going to come out. That was the one time that India and America discussed this issue. As far as suggesting to India to take this particular stance, we hear from our sources in government that America did not make such a statement or make any kind of suggestion to India on this. Of course, it is true that both sides have very similar reactions as far as WikiLeaks was concerned.